It's looking pretty interesting this morning.
Track at the moment is damp. Weather forecast for today is rain.
Firstly, let's talk about the 1 hour cars and some of the things we saw yesterday and who we might look for today in damp conditions.
In damp conditions, I think the front wheel drive cars are going to be pretty good. That's the smaller cars. They're going to get in up amongst Class 1 and Class 2 cars of 2 to 3.5 litres. But I don't think they're going to get up into the top end. I was watching Matt Whitaker yesterday, and I tell you what, he's going to be the man to watch.
Just give us a real quick rundown on this car.
So it's a 991 Porsche Cup car, so it's built for the Porsche Cup series, which runs all around the world. We've made a couple of small changes on this car. It's about 465 horsepower at the flywheel. We put ABS in it. It's got a little bit of aero, but essentially it's a fairly simple car compared to the GT3 spec cars that you've seen over here.
So long term, what are your goals with the series and with racing?
I think we want to progress to the 3R very quickly.
And why did you choose endurance racing over other types of things?
Just a progression from the Porsche series. So that's a sprint series. So we thought, well, what's the next thing to do? And endurance racing seems to be the more competitive category in New Zealand.
My name's Chelsea Herbert. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Auckland, and this weekend I'll be running in the 1 hour enduro in a V8 TL Ford Falcon. It's the first time doing an endurance race in cars, and it's also the first time racing in the V8, so from Sangyong's it's a bit of a step up, but I'm excited. I've only had 2 runs in the car in the dry, so first run in the wet will be qualifying, so fingers crossed that all goes well, but we'll just be easing into it and see how we go. You always race to win, but this weekend we're just here to do laps. It's a testing weekend for us. We know that because of the V8 and the CC rating, we're in one of the top classes, but we're underpowered compared to the other V8s we'll be competing against, and also the Porsches and things. So we know we're not going to win, but that's what we're just here for: race experience and endurance experience, so it should be good.
On a day like today, some people have to go out in the rain and stand out there all day without a shelter, and it's these guys. So tell us what you do.
Well, as you said, stand around in the rain, try and get some shelter and make sure everybody's behaving themselves.
Just a bit of a lottery whether you could get a clear lap and how much you wanted to push to get a time. So we did a fairly conservative lap and then just sort of waited to see what everyone else did, and it didn't risk me that. So just doing enough.
117 in this rain is pretty good though, right?
First time I've been here in the wet, so I don't know. Could be alright, but yeah, there's probably plenty more in it. But yeah, it's what you're going to gain.
So basically, you got it into pole position and then came in.
Yeah.
Is this a difficult car in the wet?
No, it's really good. Yeah, especially with these the Michelin wets, weight in the rear, good power down. Yeah, no, it's really nice to drive.
Qualifying ended up finishing P2, so we're pretty happy with that. We're half second off the front where we need to be, so just going to have to consistently do what we're doing, and we should be good. You don't know how the race is going to play out, so it's going to be about driving sensibly and driving smartly for the full hour, and bring home a good result. That's the plan.
Well, we're running the Mustang that we always run, the Boss 302. So this is Class 3, which we're leading at the moment. I think we're about 7th overall in Taupo, but we're the first Class 3 car home. So,
and what is it like in the wet in this muscle car?
Oh, mate, it's it's a long time behind the wheel when you're really concentrating to to stay on the black stuff. That's going to be the important thing today, is staying on the black stuff.
Obviously at Taupo we were running with Simon Evans on a spare Commodore, and unfortunately that car wasn't ready, so we had to pull the pin on Wednesday, unfortunately, even though we're second in the championship. I wasn't doing anything the weekend, and I got the phone call at 9 o'clock this morning to hurry and get my ass out here quickly to partner up with Rick Cooper and his Mustang. So for the 1 hour race. So good fun. Made up about 5 positions off the start, I think, and in third for a long time behind the Porsche and the Ferrari. And then once they pitted, held the lead for a little while. They put it in third place, and we've just jumped Rick in. Obviously with all the safety cars, everyone's come back up, and we've dropped down a few positions. But yeah, really thanks to Rick and Dion Cooper for letting me drive his beast. It was quite fun.
Really well. Car was great. Tyres were good. Setup was good, and it was fairly straightforward.
And what happened in the pit?
We snapped the helmet ear, fitting off my helmet, and just generally ballsed it up. Well, seeing it was raining this morning, we actually didn't practice, so that's probably why we're not that good. But yeah, like typically, like last weekend at Taupo, we practiced a lot.
Really wet, very slippery, and look, I knew that the 991 Porsche was going to be way quicker than we were, even though we were relatively close in qualifying. So, you know, visibility was minimal, obviously. So I just kind of let him, or I'd rather him, just sort of get away and then give me a bit of clear view where I can at least see, and then just focus on moving forward and holding position. We knew we had the pace in the car to bring home a pretty good result, but it was more or less just trying to keep the thing in a straight line. The first race I've done in the wet, and I mean I only had one practice session yesterday and qualifying this morning to get used to how to drive one of these things in the wet. There were a couple of times in the race where we did have to push pretty hard just to ensure we had enough of a gap over the others behind, but in these kind of races with a lot of safety cars, the results get confusing and who's where and how far back and all that sort of thing. So there was a lot of spray out there. So when I wasn't behind someone, it was a nice change.
Yeah, pretty treacherous there with the conditions. A little bit stop-start with all the safety cars come out. We suffered a little bit there pitting so late, but I took the second stint, jumped in, and once we got out under safety car, climbed through the field a bit, managed to get up to third there. Thought we could do a little bit better, but with the conditions and the safety cars, we ended up third. So we'll take that. We're also running the 3 hours, so a little bit of a quick turnaround. My co-driver Reese is about to jump in now and start, so same format as last time, and hopefully we can snag another podium.
Didn't get that good a start. The Cooper Mustang came through pretty quick. We had a bit of a tussle with them, and then a couple of other cars sort of were being a bit greedy on corners, so we let them go. We just played along, and then we had a bit of a problem with the wipers. The wipers stopped, so that gave us sort of 48 minutes without wipers. It was a little bit bloody hairy. We actually won our class, and I think we're 5th overall. Well, you know, that wasn't too bad. Fellas at my age, we've got to look good when we go out, and I need my beauty sleep, as you can see.
Let's talk about the 1 hour. Basically, it started off wet, continued wet, and finished wet. So, what did you see while you're up in the box?
Matt Whitaker did what he did at Taupo. He ran away and head in, and what I'm told is not the only 991 in the country. Apparently there is one other one. He did a great job. And, you know, I was talking to Johnny Reid, and Johnny Reid was singing Matt Whitaker's praises. He said he's one of the smoothest, best drivers he's seen. He was very impressed with him when he first got involved with Matt. The battle that happened behind them, that was the one that was talking point. And unfortunately, because we finished under a safety car, the finale didn't happen, and it was between Elliot Andrew in the Ferrari and Sean Varney in Sector Racing 907 when he was closing down Elliot Andrew towards the end of the race, and the safety car came out. There was one car between the two of them. If it had gone green with 2 laps left to run, I think Shawnee would have got it, but he didn't, so he finished on the podium. That was great. In Class 1, Warwick Mortimer picked up the win in that one in the Pacific Resort M3 GTR, the Mortimer Motorsport car. The other story of the race, and probably my driver of the race, was Reid Harker. In the Toyota TR86, the campaigning in the 86 series, he finished in 6th place outright in a 0-2 litre car. He was way in front of everything else. I think the nearest 2 litre car behind him finished in about 15th place. So he was in front of all of the Class 2 cars, and he was running in a Class 3 car. So he did an incredibly good job.
So there you have it. A great day out, and join us next time when we're going to another track, which will be
Manfield, 23rd of July.
And remember, if you like this, subscribe to it on YouTube so you can see it when it comes out.